ever get your finger on like what triggered that more private conversations happening when you started to recognize that? Was that like another generation popping up who were less accustomed to mailing lists, or was there some other reason that sort of encouraged people to have more back channel communications? If you ever were able to have at least best guesses about what might have happened.
Yeah, I never really like sat down and tried to figure out why it was happening. I was just trying to kind of get it back to going to the right direction. But I guess if I were to look at back on it, I would say that I would the names that stick out to me is the people who are emailing me. I would say a number of those are people who I don't think had worked in an open source project before. And so to them, being part of a mailing list and having conversations in the open where someone else might jump in and say, oh, that's not the right way to do it, and maybe not do it in a way that's completely gracious. Maybe that was scary to them, or maybe they just weren't used to that, and so to them, it was it. I think it made probably some sense in their head to just have that conversation off list. But again, it's like I'm always going to put that back on the list. I'm going to just have that conversation back on the list because that's where it needs to be. But yeah, I would say it's probably just people that were new to the concept, new to the process about how that is supposed to happen, and they would just have these off-list conversations and sort of just maybe the more people they reached out to, the more these off-list conversations happen. Maybe that was part of it, but I don't really know.
I was asking because I myself I've been working with the same challenge, like having people to do off mailing list and off community communication channel communications. And that kind of matches to what you said in terms of a lot of the people not having prior open source experience. Besides when you're involved, included in that conversation, putting it back on the mailing list, have you found any other ways to try to make people understand why it is important that they do all the project related conversations on the mailing list, and how to make them feel more comfortable with doing that? Because I've tried a lot of things and still not as much progress I would have hoped for.
I'm in a way, I'm kind of glad to hear you say that because I was going to say, if you know the recipe, let me know.
Okay.
We did a website redesign recently, and one of the things I did there was I tried to be very intentional with you know, directing people back to the mailing lists. And so if you go to the new FreeDOS website, there's in our banner at the top of the page, it has ask a question, and it's not pointing you to me, it's pointing you to the mailing lists. And it even says, typically low volume, so it's not likely to fill up your inbox, and there's a big blue button that says subscribe. Makes it very easy to join the mailing list. And so that's kind of one way I'm trying to get people to go there. We also have other forums that we list there as well, because kind of have to have it. And there's also the Facebook group is there, and the Mastodon, and things like that. But we're trying to, I guess I'd say, sort of de-emphasize those in favor of trying to push people over to the main mailing list, which is why that's more prominent on the website with the subscribe button, things like that. I don't know. Maybe the next step would be to try and create a try and create a sub page for the other forums, so that way on the ask a question page, it's only seeing the mailing list. Maybe that'd be my next step. I don't know. It's sort of the balance of like user experience with the website, and still trying to get people to go the right direction. So maybe we'll see.